Hello, my amazing artists. Today, we are going to use our primary and secondary colors that we learned about yesterday to create our own color wheel inspired by our story we read yesterday, Mouse Paint. Remember from class that a color wheel is a tool that an artist uses to help them know how to mix their colors. Today, as you are creating your own color wheel, you're going to need the white sheet of paper from your supply kit, the paintbrush from your supply kit, the set of watercolor paints in your supply kit, and a pencil. Let's pull up our camera big so we can get started. All right, so my first step today, like always, is to write my name on my paper. I'm going to do that in the top corner, writing down Miss Epic. And I'll put my class code. My class code for today is my teacher's name and my grade level. You're in first grade, so you're going to put a 1, and you're going to put the initial for whoever your teacher is. I'm going to put an E for Miss Epic. Next, I'm going to draw the shape for my mice. Now today, you do not need to draw your mice in the shape of the color wheel because tomorrow we're going to be cutting out our mice. You're going to make sure that your mice are bigger than your hand when it's balled up in a fist. For you, that's going to be a little bit smaller than Miss Epic, so I will show you what that size will be. For your mice's body, you want them to be shaped a little bit like a raindrop or a teardrop. I'll practice with my hand up in the air, and when I'm ready, I'll make a mark on my paper for my first mouse shape. There we go, just like that. I'm going to make enough mice for my primary colors, which means how many will I need? 1, 2, and 3. You guys are correct. There are 3 primary colors. Next, I'm going to make some mice bodies for my secondary colors. How many will I need for that? Let's count together. 1, 2, and 3. Great job. You should have 3 mice for your secondary colors and 3 for your primary colors. Try your best to make them all the same size. And remember, you can ask an adult if you need help. Now I'm going to put my pencil away and I'm going to get out my paintbrush. Remember that today with your paintbrush, we're making sure we use our patty rolls, which means we like to give her a good hair day. We do that by tickling our brush on our paper and never, ever, ever scooting her hair on the ground, or that will give her a bad hair day. Our second rule we need to make sure of is every time we change colors, we give Patty a bath in her bathtub by washing her hair on the bottom and gently dabbing her off on the side. Now first, I'm going to paint my primary colors. Can you think of a color that's a primary color? Let's see. We're going to go to our palette. And I'm going to pick up my first one I thought of, red. I'm going to paint my red mouse. Remember to tickle your brush on your paper and paint in one direction. I'm going to be careful around the edges of my mice, but remember, if I make a little oopsie like I just did here, it is okay because you're going to cut your mice out. And now I have my red mouse. Can you think of another primary color Miss Epic can use? Before I get it, I'm going to go wash my brush off. Make sure there's water on my brush so that it's activated. And I'm going to dip it in my next color, blue, today. I'm going to tickle blue. And when it's nice and activated, I'm going to paint my second mouse blue. And there we have red mouse and blue mouse. Now I need to go back for my last primary color. Can you think of what that color is that I'm missing? If you said yellow, you're correct. I'm going to activate my yellow. And then I'm going to paint my yellow mouse. And there we have our three primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. Now for our secondary colors, Miss Epic is going to be giving you a challenge. You could just go and grab the secondary colors like green or orange or purple straight from your watercolor palette, but that does not show me what an amazing artist you are, because yesterday you learned how to make those colors on your own by mixing your primary colors. So today, Miss Epic does not want you to touch orange, green, and purple. You are a smart artist who can do it on their own. That means I'm going to choose my primary colors to mix. First, I want to make the color orange, so let's see, what two colors will I need? Think about that on your own. I'm going to pick up a little bit of red and put it on one part of my mouse. Wash my brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow and put it on my brush. And when I mix them together, it makes my mouse turn orange. You guys are correct. Now, if your orange mouse looks a little bit too red, you might need to go back and add some more color. Remember that sometimes when we have a color that is darker, like red is darker than yellow, it can be a little stronger. And so we have to add extra of our other color. That means I need to go back to yellow, pick up a little bit more, and put it on my mouse to turn him completely orange. There we go. Now I have an orange mouse. I'm going to wash off Patty. And for my second secondary color, I'm going to make green. For green, I'm going to get a little bit of blue. I'm going to wash off Patty. And I'm going to get a lot of yellow. You guys are correct. I'm going to pick up my yellow and start to mix. I need to go back for a little bit more to activate it, and a little bit more blue, and keep on mixing. Green is really tricky to make because that blue is so strong, so you might have to go back and grab yellow paint a couple of times, and that's okay. Add more yellow. I'm going to go back and add a little bit more yellow over here. And now we can see my mouse is starting to turn green. Excellent. My last secondary color that I'm going to make today is, if you said purple, you are correct. I'm going to start with a little bit of blue again. And then I'm going to need some red. Go and pick up your red, touch it to your blue, and mix, mix, mix. Go ahead and reactivate your colors if you need a little bit more of one. and keep on mixing. Make sure that as you paint, you're doing all of your mixing on your paper and not in your watercolor palette. And now I made my mouse that is purple. I'm going to leave my mice to dry, and tomorrow we're going to cut them out and arrange them in the shape of our color wheel.